She's a cute girl, cute next to gorgeous. Gorgeous is gonna, devour cute. So in the looks department, I definitely, I've scored too high for her to catch up.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Flavor of Love podcast. Listen, this episode, we have got so much that we have to get into. We truly do. So just as a quick little reminder, last week the ladies had to make up hot tubs so that they could impress Flav in 10 minutes. And and we also just got a bunch of other drama with Miss Latin being in love with her ex-boyfriend still, more than likely. And just everyone in the house really wanting to call her out on it and just say, girl, not today. And Flav ultimately ends up sending her home. We also get a chance to see a little bit more from Beyonce. And unfortunately, Pumpkin opens her mouth as well. So there's just a lot of tension in the house. But last week we said goodbye to Georgia, Rain, Dimples, Apples, Miss Latin. Listen, when Rain got up out of there, I knew Rain wasn't going to last. I knew that. I knew Rain was not going to last. But the way that she went from heartbroken to mad, I was like, girl, it's giving that you need help. And I don't mean that in like a funny way. I'm saying like after this, you need to go seek some guidance. So listen, baby, hopefully she went and she got what she needed. So episode 3 starts a whole new week in the Flavor of Love mansion. So this week we have Smiley, Hottie, New York, and some other people. They're sitting around talking, and they're just talking about what they would do for love. And I said, it's so funny that they keep throwing around the word love. Y'all do not know this man. Why do we keep saying love? Stop it. But they said love. Child, they said they'll do anything for love. Hottie, I keep calling her Hottie. I'm sorry. Beyonce said that she would go in somebody's suitcase. She said she would go in somebody's suitcase and she would cut up all their clothes for love. She said, I'm not above that. She said, whatever I need to do to be in love, that's what I'm going to do. And everybody was so tickled. And I said, y'all are the ones that are being crazy because she's dead serious right now. But I said, okay, well, if y'all gonna ignore it, then so am I. But Beyonce was so serious. She was so serious. So inside the dining room, the ladies get a flavogram. They get their message from Flav. And he lets them know that 5 of them are going to meet some old friends of his. So those 5 are Sweetie, Peaches, New York, Red Oyster, and Beyonce. Now, mind you, these people are so excited because in their minds they about to meet Shaquille O'Neal. For some reason one of them babies was saying like Madonna, and I was like, Madonna? But you know what, I don't know, Flav does know a lot of people, so Flav probably is friends with Madonna, who knows. But anyway, they think they are finna meet some celebrities, honey. They think they are finna hobnob. And then Red Oyster thinks she's finna meet Public Enemy. And Flav is laughing at them. Flav is like, y'all should have seen the way that they got so dressed up. They thought they was really finna go meet some of my celebrity friends. And then okay, y'all might get mad at me for saying this. I don't know who Chuck D is. But New York is so excited about going to meet him. And I'm just like, okay, well, I hope that if you are that excited about going to meet him, that it works in your favor. I mean, I kind of don't know, I guess, what else to say. So they get dressed up to the nines. And going back and seeing fashion from that time is so funny. Because they all low-key look a mess. I mean, all of them look low-key a mess. But I will say that they look nice for the time. And they find out, dun, 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 that they're going to an old folks home. And everybody's like, New York says she wasted an outfit. And I could have screamed. When that woman said she wasted an outfit, I screamed to the gods. Because she said, baby, listen, I did not come here to impress these old people. So here's where it gets, I said where it gets weird. Here's another weird part of it. Flav says that so the 5 of them are there to compete for a date, right? The way that they're going to compete for the date this episode is whoever impresses Flav the most by working with these old people, that's who he's going to choose to go on a date with him. First off, the fact that a date is the prize. That's number one. The fact that that's the prize. Number two, the fact that this is a challenge or whatever it is in the first place is like, girl, okay. I just said whatever. I literally wrote down whatever in my notes. I actually wrote down the word whatever because I said there's no way. There's just no way that they cutting up like this. It's no way. So they go inside. And the hilarity ensues. New York clearly doesn't want to be there. The look on her face is letting everybody involved know that she does not want to be there. Everyone else, I keep getting Peaches and the other one mixed up, Peaches and Sweetie, but both of them are doing really good. Like, whichever one is which, they're doing really, really good. And they're really getting in there with the old people. Them old folks are putting their feet up in these people's laps, asking for feet rubs, and can you put this ointment on my ankle? And when that one asked New York, can you help me put my teeth in? And New York got up and left. I didn't blame her. I actually didn't blame her because at that point, like, girl, bye. I'm not putting no teeth in your mouth. You are out of your mind. And then Flav was like, nah, New York, that was wrong. That was so wrong. And I'm thinking, how is her not wanting to put her hand in somebody's mouth wrong? That was so weird. So, baby, New York went outside. And New York went to sit down and take a smoke break. And she went on Smoko. And Flav was like, New York, what you doing? Get back in there, girl. And New York was like, yeah, I'm going to go back in. And then she gets this look on her face like, oh, my God. I was so tickled because New York said, she said, I just gave up at that point because I knew I hadn't won. So I just didn't put the effort in, honestly. And when I tell you that I went insane. I was so tickled at that lady because Flav was really trying to tell her, like, girl, get back in the competition. And he, like she said, she knew she hadn't won at that point. So what would have been the point? Would have been the reason for her to do something she didn't want to do just to win a prize that she knows she ain't gonna win. I was so tickled. I love New York. That woman truly is the epitome of what reality TV is. She is perfect for it. But once they get done with the challenge, Sweetie has won because she put the teeth into the old woman's mouth. And New York was like, I was a little disappointed, but I mean, I wasn't putting the teeth in the mouth, so I already knew I wasn't going to win. And I can respect that. Because, girl, I'm not either. There's no way. There's not a person on this earth that well, let me take that lie back. It wouldn't be Flavor Flav. This is very random. But Peaches says that, she was bummed that she didn't get the date, but it was just one date. And as long as she didn't get eliminated tonight, then she has another chance. Not tonight, but as long as she doesn't get eliminated, she has another chance. And I said, oh, okay. So Heaps and Pumpkin, I just love calling her Heaps because that's how New York says it. But anyway, Heaps and Pumpkin are looking at a magazine, right? And they realize that it's Sirius. They see her and they're like, oh, that's you. So Heaps tells us that she thinks the Sirius is only there for exposure. And I'm like, girl, all of y'all are just there for exposure. Stop. They are tickling me with this. We need to be real honorable, and we need to be whatever. We need to be in it to win it for Flav. Girl, y'all are literally all there because you're trying to get exposure. And it is so funny watching all of them pretend like that's not what the end goal is. And it's, I'm not going to say clear and evident because I think some of them really do think that they love that man. But girl, be for real here. Anyway, so Sweetie is going out on a date with Flav. First off, that woman is beautiful. She is so pretty. And she, like, her little voice, she is just like the quintessential Southern belle. I don't know whether she's from the South or not, but she just seems like she is. If she's not, I would be shocked. So Flav says that he's taking her to this really special spot, a place that he was going when he was really trying to get romantic with people. When he was first kind of entering that phase and that era. And I said, oh, this is going to be so sweet. It's probably going to be like a park or something, because I knew it wasn't going to be nowhere fancy. I knew that because it genuinely, like, this is not that kind of show. But what's interesting is she thinks that they're going to like this Hollywood elite place that only select people like A-list stars can get into. And I'm going to be quiet because I wanted to know how she thought Flav was going to get in, but I'm going to hush because I think I might just not know how successful Flav is. I think that that's the thing that's kind of, especially for this time, I think that I'm kind of like removed from how big a name Flavor Flav has been in the past. And so that's something that I think I need to check, because sometimes when they say this stuff, I'll be like, girl, who? But different time, different time. This was almost 20 years ago. So she's thinking that. But anyway, it is interesting that they all will say things like, oh, we're probably going to meet celebrities today. Oh, we're probably going to this nice restaurant. Oh, we X, Y, and Z. All of them are there for exposure. They're there for nice things. They're there for exposure. And anyway, he takes my girl to Red Lobster. And do you know that this man had the audacity to call it elegant? He actually said, he was like, it's an elegant place before everybody, got on to it. It's Red Lobster. I promise you, people have been on it. It's not like it's somewhere. Girl, he could at least took my girl to Cheddar's, something. But while they're in there eating, the way that she is looking at him so disgusted is the same way I was looking at him. Because, I mean, he's eating his food and it is just so, oh, God, sloppy and nasty looking, and just, I mean, like the way that he is just eating like he's never eaten before. And you could tell she was disgusted. You could tell she was. Like her face told it all. But she had to pretend because she's on this date with him. And she's like, okay, baby, you're on TV. You're on TV. Don't go crazy. Like you could tell she was being like, and I was right there with her. I said, girl, you better than me. Because the way that let me hush. Because I would have got up and I would have left. So back at the house, they're teaching Pumpkin how to dance like a black girl. She's like, you dance like a white girl. And she's like, yeah, I am white. And so they decided to teach her to dance like a black. I hate this whole, the black women, the white women. It makes the show just feel so, ugh. Like the black women are almost a novelty or something. Like there's something interesting about them. Like, oh my God, like, oh, I can't believe it. You guys do stuff like this. It's so weird. And then but they're trying to make it seem like it's weird that Pumpkin is white. Like, yeah, girl, every chance she gets, she's like, yeah, I'm a white girl, girl, just but that's something the show is doing, and I don't know whether they're encouraging these women to do that or not. But if they are, then they need to stop, because it's going to be too much. But anyway, another thing that I want to bring up is the fact that Flav is doing a lot of rhyming. Everything has to be a rhyme and a rap and a this and a that. And I just want him to stop, because he seems crazy. He's doing so much that at certain points I'm just like, please stop what you are doing. When I tell you he was getting on my last nerve, but then he does something that gets on my nerves even worse. So he says, like, if I wanted to taste your mouth, I think is how he put it. It was very disgusting. He was like, if I wanted to taste your mouth, how long would that take? And she said 3 weeks. And he was like, huh? And he said, so it would take you 3 weeks to kiss a man. And she was like, I'm not that kind of girl. I don't move that fast. And he was like, yeah, well, I mean, okay, whatever. And so then he literally got mad. And she was like, and what's funny is their little confessionals, because she's saying that she always thought he was very silly, but now she sees there's so much more under the surface. And I wanted to know what that meant, because what do you mean you always thought he was silly? If you thought he was silly, why are you there? That was what confused me, because I was like, wait a minute. So you've seen him on TV, you thought he was silly, and then for some reason you were like, you know what? I think I want to compete for his love. Should you be at the competition realizing that there's more under the surface than a silly man? I'm a little confused. So in their little confessionals, like I said, she's saying that she, thought that he was silly. And he's saying that she moves too slow for him. And, she's so sweet, but he thinks she may be too sweet. And I said, that's very interesting. So that's very telling. But I guess we'll just have to wait to see and find out what happens. So y'all, back at the house, we get one of the most classic scenes of this show, of this whole franchise. I'm sorry. Listen, New York notices that her jacket is missing, and she is telling the girls that she is going to confront Beyonce, because she says that Beyonce said earlier, which she did, that she would be cutting up clothes and all of that, right? So she calls out Beyonce, whatever. So then she goes to go confront Beyonce. Now here's the funny part. New York is eating, don't get me wrong, because she's New York. But Beyonce is paying her dust. Beyonce is literally laughing at her and just being like, girl, okay, are you done? Are you done? Because if you're not done, then I don't know what to tell you. Like she's tickled by her. And she's like, she said, I'm sorry, I have to laugh. And like, you know how New York is kind of putting on this fake accent. And she's like, and you know that you did this. She's kind of like Trina Braxton with that fake accent, but it tickles me all the same. Beyonce, I think, really talks like that, which makes it all that much funnier. Like it makes it that much more entertaining. That I think Beyonce actually talks like that. So as they're, New York is getting hot, and I was like, oh, is Beyonce low key eating New York up? What is going on? So here's the fun part. So New York calls out Beyonce for the fact that she said that she would be hiding clothes. And Beyonce says, no, that's not what I said. I said that it could come to that point. And everybody said, wait. That's not what you said. That is not what you said. Beyonce is adamant that she did not say that. And I'm thinking, this lady is a compulsive liar. What is going on? Because I know I heard her say that. I know I heard her say. I had to go back and rewind it because I said there is no way that I'm tripping. And she did. She said that she would cut them people's clothes up. And now she's saying that she never said that. She said it could come to a point. She said it could absolutely come to a point where I would do that. And I'm like, girl, stop it. Stop it. Cause now you just cutting up. Now you just cutting up line. And New York is getting so mad. It's one point where she gives her wine to Pumpkin because Pumpkin is just standing there like a fool for some reason. When she grabbed Pumpkin's hand and said, here, take this, and put the wine in Pumpkin's hand and forced Pumpkin's hand to like take the wine. And Pumpkin was like, wait, what? Am I holding wine now? It was the funniest. It was the funniest little moment because it was just like New York was hot. And then that is when we have the most iconic scene of Flavor of Love because New York says, I think that you did it because you're jealous of me and whatever else. And Beyonce says, I think that you're jealous because all my friends tell me I look like Beyonce. And when I tell you that them people erupted into laughter, them folks were laughing so hard, folks fell off the bed. Goldie was tripping. Goldie said, jail, crazy house immediately. Goldie was tripping. Everybody was having so much fun with that. And then that's when we get New York going, Beyonce, Beyonce. And she said that woman looked like Luther Vandross. When I tell you, you could have bought me for a penny. I was screaming so loud. That scene is so funny. That scene is so funny for so many different reasons. And then going back and seeing how unbothered Beyonce was and seeing and seeing her like kind of wave off New York and be like, girl, anyway, y'all, chaos. Chaos. My kind of chaos. So at this point, it is a new day in the mansion. I almost said the workroom. I want y'all to know that I almost said the workroom. And for my Drag Race fans, you know why I almost said that. But anyway, so it's a new day in the mansion. Beyonce is doing her yoga. She is completely unbothered. She does not care. She says she does not want them people's negativity and these spirits to get off on her. And I said, you know what? More power to you. Kudos. Do everything you need to do. And Goldie said that she thinks that Beyonce is two chocolate chip cookies short. I mean, two chocolate chips short of a cookie. When I tell you, I screamed. That woman is so funny. Get her back on TV right now. Please, for the love of God, get that woman back on TV at this moment right now. So we get a flavogram. I don't even remember if that's what it's actually called, but I just call it a flavogram because I want to, and who can stop me? So the other women who didn't get chosen for a date the other day are now going to have their date time with Flav. And at this point, this is when I know that New York is an actress. She is an actress. But before we get to that, two girls are going home this week. We found out that two, and I was like, how many of them are left? And it's not that many. There's only like 8 of them left. So, 10 of them left. So, baby, we are getting these folks out of here at this point. So this is the scene that also made me realize that Flav is not actually spending any time with these women because all I could think was, well, who would he send home? And then I thought, well, he hasn't really spent time with really any of them, not any significant amount of time. So I want to know in between filming, in between challenges and dates and whatever, I would love to know how much time he's interacting with them, because the way I perceive it is like he is y'all know I thought he lived in a completely different house. I didn't know he was living in the mansion with them. I thought he lived somewhere else. I still kind of think he does, and then they just make it seem like he's living there, but that's neither here nor there. I'm telling you, I actually think that he probably only sees them when they're filming. So that just made that really strange. Now, let's get into my girl New York, because this is where New York starts cutting up, and this is when her master plan comes into play. So as everyone is downstairs, they're waiting for Flav to come on with his ugly hat. New York starts crying, and she is so upset that Flav is leaving with them. She feels like Flav should not be walking out that door without her. She just doesn't understand. So Red Oyster is talking to her and is like, okay, but you got hand chosen to go on the first date the last time. So I'm not understanding what the problem is. And New York is just like, I just love him so much. And I just did it. And she's just going on. And Red Oyster says the funniest thing. She's like, I think that this girl is really falling in love with him. Either that or she's a really good actress. And I just thought, girl, be serious. You actually think that this woman has fallen in love with this girl? Be for real. If you're gonna do anything else in this lifetime, please, for the love of God, be for real with me. And the fact that she actually thinks that New York is falling in love, you know what? Maybe New York thinks that she was in love with Flav. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe she thinks that she actually is in love with Flav. I couldn't tell you. So New York is upstairs talking to Flav as all the other ladies are ready to go. And no, yeah, this is hoops. I almost said boots. I almost said boots. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, wrong person. Wrong person. I think wrong season. Anyway, Heaps is, she's telling all the ladies like this is what she's up there crying about. And Pumpkin, of all people, tries to call out New York and say that New York is fake. Girl, you just did the same thing. You literally just did the same thing when you and New York got into that argument and you were trying to go run the Flav and tell him how horrible New York was. Be serious here. And that's another reason I can't stand that woman. Girl, don't play in my face like that. That's why I can't. Anyway, let me get off that lady. Let me get off that lady. Let me get off of that lady. Because what I wrote down was Pumpkin calling this out is rich. It is rich coming from her. Girl, go to hell. Another thing I want to stop real quick and talk about is their outfits. I know that this is 2006, but my God, today, some of those outfits, I was like, girl, this is definitely a time capsule, because sweet mother, whew, Lord Jesus, they looked a mess. But you know what? Hey, it was a different time. It was a different time, and I'm sure for back then, they were fashionable to somebody. You know, that business casual to go out to the club. It was kind of like that. It was kind of like that, but then it also looked a mess on top of everything else. It was just, I was like, oh God. So the date, Flav takes these women to a park and says, y'all know I got 6 kids. I want 4 more before I die. And all I could think was like, Flav, stop it. Please, for the love of God, stop. Stop doing what you're doing. But Flav said he wants 4 more kids. So a woman who knows how to take care of kids is very important to him. So he has arranged for this, for them to throw this child a birthday party. And I said, okay, that's very, like, somebody was high. Somebody got high and they sat down and they thought of that and they said, you know what? Let's do it. I want to do that. I would like to do that. And I said, hey, at this point, why not? Have at it. So they go over there. The mama has the checklist and she's like, okay, at 2:30, this is going to happen. At 3:30, this is going to happen, blah, blah, blah. I mean, she's going like beat for beat, right? And then at the end of it, she gives them the clipboard and says, all right, see y'all later. Bye. And I said, oh, not these strange people are finna be not these strange people with these cameras are finna be throwing your child a party and you're not gonna be there to supervise. I was like, no, girl, come on now. And I'm assuming that wasn't really her mama. So I just thought, where is her mama at this point? But you know what? I ain't got nothing to say about it. To me, the party was not super eventful. And when I say super eventful, what I mean is like worth talking about. The party was just kind of like you would expect it to be. Kids running around, Goldie got thrown up on. I mean, everybody I felt like did a pretty good job of corralling the kids, things like that. So it wasn't anything special to me. Like, to me, there truly is nothing that I could go in depth with the party about because it was just a party, well, a kid's party. So then Flav sits them down and he tells them how he thinks they did. And Pumpkin was telling us that she thinks she did great because she's a substitute teacher and a cheerleading coach. I said, okay, Dorothy Zbornak, you better be a substitute teacher, child. And Flav basically tells her, like, you did good, but I feel like you weren't connecting with the kids. And you could kind of see the look on her face, be like, but he says Goldie did so great, right? And I mean, she did. Goldie to me did the best. I feel like Goldie did the best and Smiley. I feel like the two of them did in terms of whatever this challenge was supposed to be, as far as like connecting with the kids, handling the party and things like that. I feel like the two of them did great. But then somehow, some way, Sirius wins. And y'all, literally, I do not know who Sirius is at certain points. I don't remember her. I don't remember her being in the competition. I don't know what she looks like. Like when he said Sirius, I was like, who the hell is that? And then I was like, wait, isn't that one of the people that got eliminated? And it was not. It was not one of those people that got eliminated. So to me, I don't know. Part of me just feels like get that lady out of here. Because I don't care what that lady has going on. I don't know her. But the thing is, he doesn't know her either. I really feel like he did it because he doesn't know her. And he wanted to see kind of like how fast she would move. I don't know. I feel like he thought she might be his best option to, get him a little cootie cat real quick. Because he couldn't get it from Sweetie. So, but that's just me talking out loud. So speaking of Sweetie, she is still visibly bothered by the fact that Flav asked her that. Like you can tell she is upset by it. And she's talking to Red Oyster and Beyonce, and she's asking them what y'all have done it. And both of them say, like, yeah, duh. Red Oyster basically says, like, girl, it's a competition. You got to do what you got to do. And it was just a very interesting take, and you could tell she felt uncomfortable by it. So I was curious to know if she even wanted to be in this competition at this point, because it was kind of given that she didn't. And I don't know. So the ladies get back from the party, right? And Pumpkin is crying and I'm screaming because Pumpkin is saying that he didn't see everything that happened. And I was very curious to know what she meant by that. But she was saying that he didn't see everything that happened and that this is so embarrassing because she's a substitute teacher and a cheerleading coach. And I was like, girl, you got to let this go. This is giving very much I won Butter Queen when I was in 5th grade. And you just always think that you're the one that owns that, title. Girl, you gonna have to simmer down. So Heaps comes in the room and New York is asking like, are you good with kids? Because you just came in and you're like, and I do think New York was being messy. Let me say this. I do think that New York was being messy. And I do think that New York was playing with that girl's mind. I will say that. I do think that she was playing with that girl's mind. Now, with that being said, I think the thing about what New York said was I agree with her. Because Hoops does always seem very flat. She seems like she has no real emotions. Like if you ask me what kind of person Hoops was right now, I wouldn't have an answer for you. Even Pumpkin, who I can't stand, even she has a distinct personality, and Hoops is just there. She's just pretty. She seems like she doesn't even want to be there. She actually seems like she just is kind of, I don't know. It seems like it was either that or jail. The only reason I'm saying that is like it seems like she just don't want to be there. It's like they tell her like if you go on this reality show, then you don't have to go on probation, and she said okay. And it was for something stupid like stealing a candy bar. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Heaps is very flat. But Heaps does clock in for a minute because she's going back and forth with New York because New York is being petty again. And she asks Hoops, like, are you okay? And she said, yeah, I'm good. She said, I only asked you one time. And she was like, what? And Hoops was, now to be fair, Hoops really was just being funny, being funny. She was like, I'll throw this ball at your head. And she really was being funny. She truly was. She was just laughing, having a good time. And New York was just picking. And then, not me saying that, trying to downplay it. See, maybe I'm toxic. Maybe I'm the toxic one because New York was picking and New York was being messy. So I get him. But Hoops clocked in. She was like, see, that's your problem. And she was just going in. I said, oh my God. Not we done got Hoops to clock in, child. But they only showed it for a second and then just let it go. So then they switched to Flav's date in the backyard with Sirius. Yes, you heard me say that correctly. The backyard. And their date is so boring. That's the other part of this. Is like she is so boring. That's why I couldn't remember her. I kept trying to figure out like why don't I remember this lady? That's why she's very boring. That man asked her. So he brings up the fact that she's 23, he's 46. He says, could you see yourself being attracted to me? This girl says, I think I'm already a little physically attracted to you. I would have pushed her. I would have pushed her down because don't play in my face. I wouldn't actually put my hands on her. I'm being funny when I say that. But I was so tickled. I said, girl, why would you say that? I would have just said, if you're going to play the game, play the game. But she's another one. You can kind of tell she does not want to be there necessarily. She doesn't seem comfortable. She seems like she's playing the game. But then the fact that she's a model, I really feel like she knows how to play the game. And that's what she's doing right now. Speaking of being a model, she brings up the fact that she's a model and that she brought her portfolio for him to look at. And he's like, I can look at you right now and I'm perfectly fine. And she was like, And I really thought she was going to say it again. I thought she was going to be like, yeah, but I want you to look at the portfolio. And you know what? I low-key would have lived if she had. I really would have. I would have been on the floor and I would have been so tickled if she had actually said, well, I mean, okay, that's great, but I really would like for you to look at the portfolio. But anyway, Red Oyster is up on the balcony watching, and she looks so sad. I was like, oh my God, why is my girl looking like that? Now, like I said, it is strange that, the girl brought up the portfolio, and I do think she's there for that. But Red Oyster basically says that she thinks that, Sirius is not here for the right reasons. And I'm telling you, I get so tickled out anytime all of them say that. Because, girl, ain't none of y'all there for the right reason. Not in that regard, anyway. Now, this was the part of the date where I was a little confused because Flav kind of was trying to kiss Sirius, I think, and he was like, oh, you know what I gotta do. You know what I gotta do. And she was like, I ain't going nowhere. And then she would just steady sipping that champagne. That lady said, whatever it is that you feel like you gotta do, I need to be drunk for it to happen. And I didn't know how to feel about that. It was very strange. It was giving a little, I don't know. It was just uncomfortable to watch. I'm gonna say that because you could tell she clearly did not want to be there. And anyway, I'm gonna just leave it at that. I am going to choose to leave it at that because there's no way. There's just no way. So he takes Sirius back up to the room because remember they're in the backyard. So he takes her back up to the room and is like, okay, I'm dropping you off back at home, whatever. And then she just walks off. I don't even know where she went after that. So then he says, hey Pumpkin, let me holler at you. And Pumpkin's like, well, I needed to talk to you anyway. And she tells him that I really did do a good job with kids and I'm a substitute teacher and whatever. She goes into her Dorothy's Born spiel. Then she kisses him and it's disgusting. And I was so confused though because I was like, he literally just came from a date with Sirius and now he's in the hallway making out with Pumpkin. It was so disgusting. And then Pumpkin was like, every chance I get to spend a little bit of somewhat alone time with him, I always try to make sure I kiss him. And I was like, girl, okay. It's giving. It made my stomach hurt. I'm gonna just leave it at that. It made my stomach hurt because I just feel like Pumpkin is willing to do anything. I feel like all of them are, but I feel like she's genuinely willing to do whatever to get that man. And it's just it makes my stomach turn. And I think it's because it's her. And then she's so happy with herself because I got a chance to get Flav. And it's, girl, shut up. My girl Red Oyster though When I tell you that woman ran, she ran with the strength of a gazelle to get back there to go snitch on Sirius and tell that man, I do not think the Sirius is here for the right reasons. The way she ran, I was just like, girl, be serious. Be for real. Because I love my red oyster down. Love my red oyster down. But it's giving very much workplace snitch. It's giving we don't like to eat lunch with her because she's gonna go tell the boss that we had some cosmos. I my girl is, and she feels like that's their connection. That's the thing. She feels like they have built a connection off the fact that she will snitch. But then Flav also says that he basically enlisted her to keep the house in order and to keep an eye on things. And I'm just like, girl, you're only there because he needs reconnaissance because he's not watching things 24/7 supposedly. So you're just there to give him. But anyway, child, she's if she's happy with it, if she likes it, I love it. And she goes to snitch on, I say snitch, but she goes to give her opinion. That's how I'm gonna phrase it. She goes to give her opinion on Sirius and how Sirius is just there to be a model. And then they showed a little montage of her talking about being a model, and she only says it like 3 times, but still, it's the fact that she said it multiple times. I do feel like that's why that lady was there, and I can't say that I really um I can't say I really blame her because I feel like I would do the same thing. And then finding out how young she is, I'm like, I probably would do it too. I don't know. But that's just me. So we get to deliberations. It's time. The time has come for us to, you know, not lip sync for our life, but stand there and look like we're going to the club and for our life. It is hilarious every single week watching these women stress over this man and stress over the fact that they don't know which one of them is going home. And it just always tickles me so much when a man is the prize. Because even with like the Bachelorette, the fact that a woman is a prize, I don't know. I don't know if I could compete for a man. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't, but I can't knock people who do. At the same time, I don't know. It's very strange to me. And I just feel like the concept of it, the fact that it's like this big pick me, choose me, marry me, love me. You know what? All these reality shows should just be called Grey's Anatomy. All of these dating reality shows should just be called Grey's Anatomy because that's what it's giving me. Pick me, choose me, love me, marry me. So Flav comes in. He does his little usual spiel like, oh man, I'm gonna break so many hearts, man, and this is so hard for me, and da 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 da. Flav, I'm gonna just be quiet. I'm not gonna say what I want to say. Red Oyster gets the first clock, and I'm still kind of confused on whether like the sequence has anything to do with anything because there's no special like the one who wins first clock hadn't gotten like a special prize or anything like that. So I almost feel like he's just calling them out. So I feel like though the one who gets the last clock is the only important one because I feel like the one who gets the last clock is the only one that he genuinely didn't know what to do with. But I don't know. I wish that there was more kind of like importance put on the clock, like the sequence that they're called out. But this ain't America's Next Top Model, nor is it Drag Race. So I need to let that little dream go. When he called Sweetie's name, I was shocked, and so was she. Both of us were sitting there with our faces just contorted because we were like, wait, whoa, hey, Sweetie stayed. Like you know when you get kind of confused about something, you'd be like, whoa, wait, huh? That was what it was when Sweetie stayed. But he said he wanted to, to get the lady. When he called Goldie's name, I was so excited because I love Goldie. And he was like, I want to vibe with you some more. I feel if I was straight, I feel like I would go for Goldie. Because she is just the most fun and she's so pretty. Oh my God, she is so pretty. She is so gorgeous. And I just feel like I would just I don't know. I feel like I'd be putty in her hands. If, that was my thing. Y'all, when he called Beyonce's name and Beyonce is staying, the way nobody clapped for her, I was like, y'all are wrong for that. All of y'all except for Goldie are gonna burn for eternity. Because if somebody don't clap for that lady, that is Beyonce. She is a superstar. That woman is a superstar. Clap for her. Like, but anyway, let me let it go. So we get down to the final three. We get down to the last three that don't have a clock. It's Hoops, Serious, and Peaches. Every time I say serious, I sound like I want to say serious black. But anyway, Hoops says that she's really falling for Flav, and so she hopes that he keeps her. And I said, "Girl, please shut up. Like you're lying. You're lying to me. You're lying to yourself. Stop the lies. You're lying. Why are you lying? It is." And then she don't even seem like because she's laughing. She's like smiling. She does not care. That woman does not care. Girl, be for real here. And Serious say she feel like we got a connection. I don't remember what Peaches said. It was just like, girl, none of them wants to be there. So he calls Hoops' name. And Hoops is so excited. And she's like, oh yeah, I know what time it is. And she looks like she wants to say, God damn, now I got to actually stay here. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna try to show him a little bit more. And I was like, now Hoops, hush. You don't have to lie to us. You don't have to lie to yourself. Girl, I can tell you've been lying. I can see it in your eyes. Not tell he been lying. I can tell you have been lying. You don't have to lie to us anymore, baby. You don't. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to, babe. Serious and Peaches are absolutely, they're distraught. But Serious's reaction is the one that tickles me the most. And I'm going to tell you why. That lady is crying. And the way that she says, I'm just misunderstood. And it's so tough to be misunderstood. So tough. Y'all, the way that I screeched, scrooched, hollered, and everything else in between, because she turned on the acting chops. She took 3 classes. She took 3 acting classes. And she said, I am going to put this to use. She said, I'm going to turn this on right now. And somebody is going to give me a job because they're going to look at me and they're going to say, oh my God, the way she cried, she emoted. I feel like that's what she said. She was like, I need to emote. And she thought that she really ate and she thought that she was really showing up and showing out. And she didn't. She thought that she ate. She did. She thought she ate and she didn't. She didn't even nibble. She literally just took a little pinch like she was Squidward taking a bite of a Krabby Patty for the first time. And she put it back down and said, no, thank you. This is not for me. Like, girl, no, ma'am. Don't play with me like that. Please, for the love of God, do not play with me like that. And I'm just tickled. I am so tickled. I am so tickled. Let me say this. This show is absolutely well worth the watch. If you want something entertaining, if you want something that's going to keep you engaged, if you want something that you can just sit there and kiki at for about 45 minutes, then I 100% would say go back and watch Flavor of Love. I am only on episode 3 right now of this rewatch, but I have been thoroughly entertained. And the thing about it is when you watch it, none of it seems genuine. And I think that's the funniest part. From the very jump, everyone there seems fake. I think the only person who probably really wanted to be there was Rain. And we all know, how that goes. And New York is putting on quite the front. That I will, you know what? I kind of read Red Oyster earlier for saying that if New York is not in love with this one man, that she's just a good actress. But I actually will say, if New York did not love that man, which I do not think she did, she really was putting on a good show. Because even though all of it is fake, I genuinely believe New York is the one she's not in between. Either she loves him or she does not. It's one of the two. And I can't put my finger. I want to say very confidently that she's faking, but I don't know, because she is kind of putting that seed of doubt in my mind that maybe she could be for real. I don't know. So whatever it is, I will tell you that I'm going to be tuned in, and hopefully you are going to tune in, and we can have some chats about it together. Well, everybody, I guess that ends my run for today. You can follow me on Instagram at Real Life with G. You can follow me on YouTube at Real Life with G. And you can follow me anywhere else that they call me Mr. G. So if you just want to keep up with me and just see what I'm talking about, then I think that would be great. I am going to be making some drag race content here for season 17 here pretty soon. So you might want to go ahead and hit that up. I am on TikTok for as long as we have it at They Call Me Mr. G. So please, I implore you to head on over, find me somewhere. No, I'm doing it at Real Life with G. I don't know if I said Real Life with G or They Call Me Mr. G. Well, follow me on both on TikTok. How about that? That way you don't have to worry about missing a thing or a single update. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get on off. And I hope y'all have a great day. I hope y'all have a great tomorrow. And I will see you later. Bye.